Good morning everyone, it's 10 o'clock Saturday morning and this is Debbie here from Love Your Flower Garden Community. Lovely morning today, it's pouring down today, so I've decided to do it in my workshop. Managed to get the Wi-Fi working, so that was good. So let me know if you can see me okay. Just want to make sure there's a few people here. There's one person here, lovely. I'll hang on a minute, it's only just probably gone live. Morning everyone. Morning Brenda. Morning Sue. Anybody else there at the moment? No, I've got 9 watching. Can you say hello if you can see me okay? Hi Sue. Okay, well, there's a few of you on now. Mum's on, I can see you Mum. Catherine, Anne, oh Anne-Marie, sorry. Lisa, hello, hello everyone. Right, so let's get started, otherwise I'll be here all day. We're going to do a woodland display, floral display today. Not going to be a lot of flowers in it, so it's mainly stuff you can get out of your garden, which is great. I'm going to do it quite a large size, so I've got here a large tray, which you tend to use for coffin spray sort of thing, or big large displays, and I've got 3 oasis blocks in, so it's quite a lot of foam, and we're just going to tape that in. So we'll just use pot tape for that, if I can find the end, which I never can. No, can't find that one. This one's okay. Right, so basically you just need to secure your oasis into your trays. Don't need to do too many, I just tend to do one. If you've got 3 like this, I just tend to do 1 on each foam. You don't need to use loads of pot tape. I see people using loads and loads of pot tape, but to be quite honest, it just gives you less space to put your flowers in. So we want as much space as possible to put your flowers in. So just 2 or 3 or 3 or 4 of those, just to secure it in. Okay. All right. And for this, because I want a little bit of height on one side, I've also got another little block which I've just sort of chiselled along the edges, and I just want to get a bit of height on that. So I've got to secure that, and the way to do that is with the long wires. These are slightly different wires, and we just do a sort of a hook at the top, just to hook it in. So we need a few of these, just to make sure it's not going to go anywhere. I'll do a few smaller ones around the edge as well. So a few more of these. Morning Santa. Morning Claire, morning Eileen, I see a few of you there. Right, can you all hear me okay? Just say if you can hear me okay, because a few of you said you couldn't hear me before. Hopefully because I'm a bit nearer and I'm inside now, it should be okay. But let me know if you can hear me. Thumbs up, or just say hello, you can hear me. Thumbs up. Great. That's okay. Right, so I've just secured this little bit of oasis on here, so just so it's not going to run off anywhere. And now we just need to put some greenery around the edge. So for that I've just used plain ivy leaves that I've got in the garden. These nice big ones are great for this. So just go all the way around the bottom. You just want to hide the tray at the bottom. Alright. So just around the edge. You have to really cut each one because they're quite thick stems, these. So just around the bottom. It doesn't matter if you leave a few holes, because you can fill in with a different type of greenery. But these are quite good because they cover a nice big space. So I'm just doing it all the way around, front and back. You can see the back there at the moment, and obviously at the sides, we want to put it at the sides as well. Was 10 o'clock a bit early this morning? Because I know I usually do it at 9:30, but I'm sort of up anyway, so for me it kind of works 10 o'clock, but a bit early for you, Eileen. Right, okay, so a few more of these around the bottom. So you can see these are great because they actually give quite a lot of coverage, which is what we want. That one doesn't want to go in. A few more. Okay, and I'm going to fill in with a bit of other foliage as well. This is just a bit of pine, a type of pine Cypressus that I have in the garden. It's quite nice just to fill in as well. It's quite bushy, so it covers quite a lot. So when you're doing something like this, you need quite a bit of foliage just to fill in. I'm just sort of almost going in between and then around the others. Morning, Mick. Morning, Christine. So if I haven't seen your name, it's because you pipped along while I wasn't looking up. I do apologise, but I'm always too busy to be watching. So as long as you can all hear me, that's the main thing. And obviously, when you're putting anything into Oasis, just make sure you've got a nice clean stem before you put it in. Otherwise, it won't take hold and it'll just fall out. So you don't want that. So just a little bit like that. I'm just going to do the same on the back, just fill in a little bit. And if it's quite woody, it's good because it goes in better. So you want it a bit woody. So that's why Cypressus and Lelandii and things like that are quite good when you're beginning as well, because they've got a nice sort of hard stem. And it's like when you do the wreath making courses, it's always easier with the thicker stems, as anyone who's done it with me will know. So just going all the way along. Just got a few more holes. So you've just got a nice, you've literally just gone around the edge, all the way around, both sides. I mean, obviously I'm looking at the front here, you're looking at the back, but I will turn it around as we go through. And you want a little bit along the floor, because it's going to be your floor, your ground. So you can use some smaller bits for this. In fact, I'm going to use these little bits of pine because they're quite sweet. So just a few bits along the bottom of the floor. So this is going to be like your floor. You can always move them around if they don't quite go where you want them to go. But these are quite nice because you get a whole little sprig. Can you see that? So it almost looks like a little bush in the ground, if you like. So quite good for that. Because that's what we're after. We're after it sort of looking like the ground. And make sure, as Gay, that you get rid of all the bits. So these can go quite low down. And this is Boxus. Most people have this in their gardens. You know, that's what they make those lovely little ball shapes and the topiary trees out of. But A lot of people just have it growing in their garden anyway. Not fancy shapes and things. Again, so a few bits of this. Don't have to go too mad, because we're going to put other things on here as well. So we'll just put a few in. And they don't have to be really fancy bits. Just as long as you've got a nice little end on the bottom, on the top, the bit that you're going to see. All right. Okay, so now we're going to try and build our structure a bit. Now, so what I've got as well from my garden, I was cutting a bush down the other day and just got some sort of twiggy sort of bits, and I've still got a few bits of leaves on the top, so I'm going to use these because they kind of look like trees. So I thought they were quite good for that. Because what we're doing is we're building like a little landscape here. So we want these to look like a tree growing around a rock, or a bit of a hump, if you like, in the ground. So that's sort of, can you see that? So basically, I've just put the sort of the, can't see it very well. Quite difficult when you've got a big. Now this one is called pistache, and a lot of florists use this. And I thought this looked like, this is a bit that I had left over in a bouquet. Sometimes you get them in bouquets that you get from, you know, the supermarkets and stuff. But otherwise you can get it from your florist. And it smells divine, lovely earthy smell. And I thought that looked quite like a tree sort of shape. So I'm going to use that as my tree on this end. So we've got like a sort of tree effect there, which is good. So we've got like different trees here and a smaller tree here. And then you can start building your picture, basically whatever you want to do. Now I've got another one of these little munchkins, which I thought was quite nice. So I think I'm going to put him in here. And I need some big wires for this, because obviously he's quite heavy. It's only a small one. It's a bit bigger than the one I put in the wreaths the other week. And for this, obviously, you're going to need some big hooks, but you don't want to see the top of the hook, so we're just going to go down. It's quite tough, so you want to go right through. Yeah, you need tough wires. Probably help if I took the wrapper off the bottom. Going to come out the other side? No. Right, okay. Let's try again. Sharper edge, maybe. Otherwise, we'll just do it from the side, because I think the flesh is softer from the side. She says. No, not going to work. Okay. Right, what we're going to do then, I've got my trusty glue gun here as well, just in case that didn't work. Hot glue gun, another staple diet of the Florist. So I'm going to actually glue him on. So we want him here. He's just sort of sitting at the end of the. So just lots of glue on here. What I'll do is I'll glue it, and then I'll stick some wires in it afterwards just to secure him. So nice bit of glue on there. I think it should be alright. That's it. Yeah, that's taken. Okay. Going away. That's good. I'll put some more wires in a minute when it's taken. Okay, so we've got that there. Now what else are we going to do? So we're going to try and make some like little trees and things, some like little bushes. So I've got some gyp, which are just leftover bits of gyp that I had from a bouquet. So I'm going to try and make like a little bush out of these. So just cut some snippets, and we're going to just put them into the front. just to make it look like a little sort of bush. Hi Tina. Right, okay, so we've got that there. Now, I also have some fuchsia, which I thought was quite nice. It's got a nice sort of tray. This is just from my garden, still flowering. It's lovely. So I thought we'd have some little, sort of try and manipulate it a little bit without breaking it. You can manipulate it a little bit. So you want some nice sort of little curves on there. So just with your finger, just manipulate it a little bit. Get rid of any bits on the end. This one's lovely. When the flowers go, you get these little little fruits on them. They're so pretty. So just so you can see, it's taking shape. See that okay? Claudia, morning. So you've got your trees at both ends, and your floor with your pumpkin only on it at the moment. Okay. Right. So we're going to also make a little sort of bush on the little high bit that we've got this end. So we're going to have make it like a little bush on this little hill bit that I've got here. And this is just the Boxus again we're using. So just putting them into the centre so it looks like a little bush in the garden. There we go. Right. Okay. Now, I thought it might be quite nice to put some little mushrooms in. So I couldn't get any nice faux mushrooms. Had a look, but there wasn't anything about. So I'm going to use real mushrooms, which I thought was quite sweet. So obviously they're not quite long enough for what I wanted, so I've taken the stem off one of them, and I'm going to join it to the bottom of this one just to make it a bit longer, if you see what I mean. So I've got some wires. Actually, where's that one I had before? I'm just going to extend the stem on it. So I'm just wiring it. Just want to extend him a little bit. So I'm just putting it up through the, doesn't need to be that long, but I can tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do the little hook up the top. So I'm just going to do, actually no, I'm just going to do the hook on the bottom for now. That's it. If it comes through the top, that's fine, doesn't really matter. So what I can do is then pull it back down so we get a little hook there as well. And then we'll get another longer one. Let's use one of these, it's easier. So go right up through the middle. Now you've got your little extension on. Do a little hook on the top and pull it back down because you want to just grab the top. Alright. And then you leave a bit extra that you're going to put into the oasis. Do another one. So up through the middle, a little hook on the top, pull it down. So you're just hooking the top of the mushroom. That's it, like that. Alright, so we've got two there, and then we're going to put that into the, so these are going to be sort of under our fuchsia bush. And there's the first one. I'm going to put another one through there, just to make it secure. So a nice long one this time, just down through the middle. If it comes out, it doesn't really matter because it's still going to secure it into the foam, and it won't be seen because that's going to be the back anyway. Alright, so just push them into the mushrooms, and he's quite sturdy. This one should be a bit easier because we haven't got the extension on the bottom. So he's just going to sit sort of beside him. So up through the middle, through the top of the mushroom, do a little hook, pull it down, and give enough, another 2-3 inches to go in the foam. Do it again. You can use the other half of the one you just cut. Push it down, and then that's going to go. And you can put it in at a sort of a bit of a jaunty angle as well. It's quite sweet. So we've got 3 little mushrooms. Do one more. This one's a bit bendy, so we'll see how he goes. Probably only need one for that one. Okay, so we've got the 3 little mushrooms in there. You see? There we go. So we've got that little mushroom display under the tree with a bit of fuchsia hanging over, and the other end we've got the pumpkin little chip bush, if you like, to make it look like a little bush. Okay, right, so I thought it might be quite nice as well to put some little stones on here, because you would get all stones on the floor. So again, I need the glue gun for this because, oh, sorry, something came up on my screen and I didn't know what it was. So we're going to glue these on. Make sure they're nice and dry from your garden before you start. I did dry these first, as if I'm around my pond. So just a few different sizes. And just manipulate them around the leaves and things that you've got there. All right. So where's my fuchsia? I'm going to put another fuchsia in here because I want this to sort of drape over the mushrooms. There we go. So that looks quite sweet. Right, what else have we got? We've got some little bits of... Right, so now we're going to put a few flowers in, and I just got... I was going to use gerbras, but when I went to the wholesalers, I actually saw this lovely uses. So we're literally going to use kind of one stem of Lisianthus. Really, one, depends how many. This is one stem, which is quite good. Depends where you get them from. Sometimes you get lots of flower heads, sometimes you don't. But this one's quite good. So again, we're just going to try and make these look like they're natural in the background. Just cut them. You can leave a few leaves on. I don't like too many leaves because they're supposed to look, and I want them just nice and straight, just like a parallel arrangement. Oh, a lovely face. Uses that lovely face with the hearts on it. Right, okay. So we can have another little one there. Take that one down a little bit. Okay. See, so one stem, I got all those flowers from it, which is quite good really, isn't it? Does depend where you get them from, obviously. And just do them at different heights. You can use all the buds as well, a few little buds. So I got all of that from one stem, so you know that's not bad, is it? Okay. So I've got some nice little berries here as well, with some nice bit of like moss, old moss, and a few berries. So I'm just going to sort of put these onto the ground so they look natural as well, like part of the ground that have been there for years. So I didn't get anything like it's just like is it lichen? I can never say it. Moss. Me and Mum found these the other day when we were going down the road. They were quite nice. They had a nice woodland effect. could use these as a bit of berries as well. Put a bit of berries in the background. So you're just building a nice picture basically with whatever you've got. I've got some little cones here as well. I'm going to put them along the front. I'm just going to put a little bit more greenery in the bottom. This is Pittisporum, which grows in my garden. If you want to grow anything in your garden to display flowers with, Pittisporum. I've got 3 different types now growing in the garden. No, 4 actually. All different sort of colours and things. One's a very nice sort of dark browny colour, which is very autumnal looking. It's beautiful. And this is the standard one, and this is the one that most florists would buy in if they were going to buy it. So we're just doing another little effect here. So it just looks like it's growing out of the ground naturally. That's what you're after. So let me turn it around. You can have a look. Can you see that all right? What do you decide what composition you're going to make? Do you have some sketches again? No, it's all in my head, Santa. I'm afraid I've been doing it a long time. So there we go. You can see the mushrooms and the little pumpkin. No, I just decided, I had an idea in my head what I was going to do, and I'm just throwing this together as we go along. So, which is what most florists would do, to be honest. Once you've got a little bit of experience, you don't worry about whether you can do it or not. You just kind of know you can do it. So I'm just putting a bit more Boxus in here, just to fill in the cover the oasis really. So a little bush on the top. I want a little bush here because I'm going to put something in it at the end, which I bought earlier, which I thought was quite sweet. So you're just basically covering all your oasis now with whatever you've got. And this is all from my garden, all of this foliage from my garden. And Sue next door, she gave me some lovely variegated holly yesterday. I'm not going to put it in this because it's too much for this probably, but she's got a beautiful tree of it in her garden. And she very kindly gave me some yesterday, so I was pleased because I'm doing, this week I'm making a lot of wreaths to go on the website, and because we're not really doing the live workshops this year because of COVID, but I am doing some online courses if anybody's interested. They're all 1.5 hours. I can't look at the dates now. 12th and 13th. It's the 2 Saturdays and Sundays before Christmas. I think it's the 12th and 13th, and the 19th and 20th. So the wreaths I'm doing in the morning, and the table decorations I'm doing in the afternoon. So what I'm doing here now is I'm just wiring cones. These are a bit difficult to show you because there's not a lot of bottom on the there's not a lot to grab hold of on the bottom. But basically you just push it through, get your wire, push it through the bottom, pull it down, and then twist. So you're just twisting it. I find it easier to do it this way till it takes, and then cut it off. On here, this one's got hardly anything to grab hold of, but there's a little bit there. Right, so just hold it at the bottom, twist, cut it off. I think we'll put those ones in first, so I'm going to put those in underneath, just gently in threes. In threes there, and we'll have another 3 at the other end, I think, but I might actually glue those ones on because there's not a lot to grab hold of, so we'll do that. Those. Right, so it's looking nice. We're just going to put a bit more greenery on the front there because I've noticed I've still got a few little holes. So this is a bit of holly. It's a nice soft holly. It's got no prickles on it. Holly's nice when it comes out. It's really lush green foliage, and it's not spiky, which is lovely. few more cones down this side, but we're going to glue these ones on because I've got nothing much to grab hold of them. So just put your glue on, make sure it's nowhere near your fingers, and you can just stick them on. So, really enjoying this, thank you, that's very nice. Yes, it's a lot easier with the glue gun. I've also got a few cinnamon sticks which I thought looked like little logs, so maybe we'll put those into the front. These will have to be glued in because, oh no, I can wire those in. Put a little wire on those because they're quite heavy actually. These big chunky ones are not a lot of good for when you're doing reeds because they're not pretty enough, if you like, but they're great for things like this because it does actually look like a little log. So just nice and tight, just keep going around till it takes, you want it to take the wire. That's it. So just keep twisting and twisting. I'm going to put that in the front. I'll do a couple of those. Again, another wire. You get through a lot of wires. That's why we always buy big bags of wires. These ones are 0.71 millimeters. Yeah, 0.71 millimeters. And these are the ones I tend to use for most things. When you wire gerbras, I did the gerbras the other week. That's the sort of gauge that you use really for most things. And I have thicker ones, like I tried to use for the pumpkin, but that one didn't work. I think the pumpkin skin is very hard, and it won't be hard enough to go right the way through, so that didn't work. But anyway, so we're just putting these through at an angle. We'll do 3, because as you know, I like to work in odd numbers. So again, just put it right the way round. Just twist the other side until it takes. Just keep twisting hard till it's taken by the wire. There we go. Oh, it's raining outside now, I can hear it. Right, so that's probably more or less it. I just need to fill in the greenery at the back, which I can do afterwards. We'll just put a bit more pit in because I've got it here. So you're just trying to make it look like it's all growing out of the ground. So this is why you need lots of different textures, lots of different shapes, because if you look at the natural ground outside or in your gardens, you'll notice that everything is full of texture, full of different shapes, and that's what you're trying to emulate here. So trying to make it look like it's all coming out of the ground naturally. That's all I've got of that. So just fill in. Right, how's it looking? I'll turn it round so you can see. The leaves are getting caught as I'm turning it round each time. There we go. So you can see that well. I can't see it because, hi Claire, because I've got your notices in the way, but I think you can see it all. There we go. Alright, so that's kind of the effect you're looking for. I'm just going to fill in the holes. I've got a few little holes there, and obviously we've got holes at the back, but we'll just fill that in with a bit more greenery. We can do that later. Right, I'm just going to get a few more large leaves in the front here, because these cover a multitude of sins. You don't really want to see any of the oasis. got to say a big thank you to everybody as well. You'll be inviting your friends. There's one person that's invited loads of people, so she may well win. But I've still got about 800 people that have been invited that haven't joined yet. So if maybe you could send them a little reminder, or put my link on your webpage, and just say if you haven't accepted your invitation, could you, because you're you're involved in a competition. That would be great. Because say if those other 800 people push the button, I'd be double figures by now. Because I'm I think about 880 this morning. So that's absolutely fantastic. So thanks everybody for been inviting all your friends. It's really working. Seem to like something I'm doing, so that's great. I'm going to put that one there because I can't see. I'm going to put it down there. There we go. I think we'll put a few more little cones there. I've got space for a few more in the middle there. I love these little cones. I bought these in a bag of scented cones, but they're so tiny. But they are scented. They're beautiful. Smell of cinnamon sticks. So I'm just going to stick those in there. So they sort of look natural. There we go. I can still see a few holes. That's the problem. You always see a little bit that you've missed. Obviously I know I've got the back to do, but you can do that. I've got some nice little holly ivy berries, my favourites. So we'll stick one of those in. We'll put those in the bottom. They're great for hiding the oasis. And a few more leaves. I'm going to use a bit more of this mossy branch because I think it looks really authentic. Just brings a little bit of colour in as well through the berries. And you've got that lovely mossy effect. I don't know what tree it is, what bush it is. I think it might just be like a hawthorn bush. Right, and I'm going to just spray my leaves. So this is just leaf shine. I just spray it, just gives it a nice finish. I'll do the back in a minute, but it's just to give you a nice effect. And this is my little purchase this morning from the garden centre. He's my little robin on a log, and I thought he was quite sweet. I'm going to put him in the little bush that I made at the top and put in there. I think he looks quite great, it's quite sweet. Is there anything else? I think that's probably about it. I'm going to fill in obviously the back. Oh no, I've got another little bit there. So really, out of this, there's been like a few little bits of gyp that were left over from a bouquet. One stem of Lisianthus, that's this flower here, Lisianthus. A couple of mushrooms, and you can all get them. So now I'm just going to use the rest of this gyp up just to fill in. If you cut it quite short, then you can sort of put it at the bottom of the Lizzie. Just a few little sprigs. Got a few more little cones. I can see another little hole. to leave this last little fuchsia without a home. So we'll just find him in there. See, one more little hole in there. It's been great, these little cones. You can just put them in just where you want them. Right, I think that's it. So I've mentioned about the online workshop, so if you'd like to do a wreath making course or table decoration course, they're all going to be online, so you can have a look at those if you want to sign up. So I've got to fill in the back, but there we go. So that's a woodland display, and most of this you can get from your garden. See the little robin in the bush on the hill? There, I can put it down because it's very heavy. Okay, so hope you liked it. Here we go. This isn't a workshop really, this is just a demonstration, and these are free, but if you'd like to learn on a more one-to-one basis, then please sign up for the workshops. Hello Robin. Hello Robin. Yeah, do you like the robin? I like the robin. I thought it was quite sweet. I thought we needed a little bird or a little. I also had this lovely reindeer, which I thought I might kind of put in, but he's probably a bit glitzy and a bit more for Christmas, so I think we'll save him for a Christmas design. This was given to me by Greta in Norway, and my son's girlfriend's mum. She bought it for me last Christmas, and it's really lovely. It's really heavy, really lovely one. And to make it a little bit Christmassy, if you wanted to, this spray, you could add a little glitter. So if you wanted to, you could make it a little bit, so it looks like snow, or you can get the spray snow that you get. So that just gives it a little Christmassy feel. Not too much, just a little bit, so it looks like ice in the morning on your forest display. Amazing. Oh, thank you, whoever that is. I can't see your name. Your name hasn't come up yet. Well, I hope you like that. How long did that take? About 40 minutes. So you could do one yourself very easily. Just use one block of oasis in a little tray, or just something you've got in the house in a dish. Have a go. All of this is from the garden or down the lane, apart from the glitter and the robin and the mushrooms. I don't advise you to pick any mushrooms. Use the ones from the shop. But again, thank you very much everybody for all your inviting your friends. We didn't quite get to the 1,000, so if we could get to 1,000 this week, that would be fantastic. So if you could hopefully remind your friends to click on the join button, and then they could be able to see this every week as well. So we'll try and do something live every week, and I hope you liked it. All right, so have a good weekend. It's pouring down with rain here at the moment, and I will see you next week. Thanks everybody.